Good morning, everyone. Hey, we're going to get started here shortly. We've got the bikes loaded and we're going to be heading to Wendover, Utah. We're going to be taking a back highway that parallels the TransAmerica Trail. So we'll get started here shortly. The TransAmerica Trail takes off north from the Border Casino and Inn. This route takes one through the desert but stays east of the mountain ranges. The alternate route we are taking will be up a valley between two mountain ranges, and it'll require us to cross over one of them. We must first backtrack 36 miles from Ely before heading north. This backtrack takes us over the Schell Creek Range, which hosts North Schell Peak at 11,895 feet. This makes North Schell Peak the fifth highest in the state of Nevada. Off to our right is the Spring Valley Wind Farm. This wind farm uses 66 turbines to produce 152 megawatts of power. The site has been in operation since the fall of 2012. The High Shells Wilderness area has several peaks over 11,500 feet. These limestone peaks make for a dramatic skyline with deep canyons and remote valleys. Below the timberline, one can find aspen stands and bristlecone pine stands. This wilderness area is also home to the state's largest herd of elk. Off to our right is the Deer Creek Mountain Range. This range is the third highest range in Utah and is home to the Gashute Indian Reservation. Here you get a good view of the High Shells Wilderness area. Isn't this just impressive? There are some ranches as we head up Highway 93, but I can assure you this is a really remote area. One cannot recognize from the video, but as we head north, we are gradually gaining in altitude. It won't be long before we have the pavement behind us. The Ely, Nevada area is considered semi-arid with about 9.5 inches of rainfall per year. It also has an extreme night and day temperature change with a reputation of being one of the coldest places in the lower 48 states. On an average, a daily low of 32 degrees or lower occurs 250 days of the year. It may not appear to the viewer, but we have climbed steadily into the mountains. We are now riding through the area where the road narrows and is a little bit rougher in spots. How cool is this alpine barn? There were some sheep up in here and some fields, so that was kind of cool. Even though this area is considered semi-arid, the Schell Creek Mountains receive about 54 inches of snowfall. Spring runoff would explain these fields, which I believe to be winter wheat. Before turning west, we ride past a ranch. This ranch had several herds of sheep totaling into the hundreds. Interestingly enough, I could see sheepdogs amongst the herd. I'm sure their job is to protect the herd from coyotes. This final stretch of gravel will take us up and over the Schell Creek Range. What a beautiful ride this was. The Shelbourne Springs account for these green areas, and we will soon cross over Shelbourne Pass. As we reach the top, we are treated to a view of the Egan Range. The king of Egan Range is Telegraph Peak at 9,921 feet. The range is probably about 14 miles away from us. What a stunning view, huh? We are descending down into Steptoe Valley. We will be taking a short break at a roadside rest area before heading on to West Wendover. This man-made watering hole seemed out of place in the desert, but it shows you what a little water can do for plants and shrubs.
I'll take a couple. Plenty, that's good. That's good. Might put some gas in my motorcycle. We're at a rest stop.
We continue north on Highway 93 through the Steptoe Valley until reaching a fork in the highway. We will take the right fork, alternate 93, towards West Wendover. The Pony Express was established in 1860, and its route went from Missouri to California. Intermittent way stations held horses in queue for the riders who would mount fresh horses for the journey. Thousands of men were employed as riders, which also included wagons and oxen teams. The route from Salt Lake City, Utah to Carson City, Nevada went right through the Shelburne Pass area, the ride we just completed. However, the endeavor was a complete failure and went bankrupt in just 18 months. Off in the distance, you can see the Bonneville Salt Flats. We'll get a better view of them as we get closer to West Wendover, but it's pretty cool. You can easily see them. Alternate 93 passes through the Antelope Range and the Ghost Chute Mountains. We top out at 6,031 feet when crossing White Horse Pass. Alternate 93 was also originally a part of the Lincoln Highway, the first road across the United States. As we descend out of the mountains, we get a good look at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Once a lake, the hard pan flats is dry most of the time. This exposes a regular table salt pan of up to 5 feet thick. The Bonneville Speedway is host to speed freaks chasing land speed records. The flats are open to the public and are managed by the Bureau of Land Management. Wendover was established in 1908 and was a station stop on the Western Pacific Railroad. During World War II, the Wendover Army Airfield trained bomber pilots and crews for the B-17s and B-24 bombers. Gunnery crews were trained in a nearby range. These gunnery crews were trained in how to properly lead targets when both their aircraft and the enemy aircraft were traveling at hundreds of miles per hour. A bombing range is still in use today. We take a ride through West Wendover to see the casinos. At the west end of town is Wendover Will, a 63-foot tall sign originally designed to attract visitors to the State Line Casino in 1952. The sign is comprised of 1,184 feet of neon tubing. You're free to use that in a trivia contest. We finally make it to our hotel in Wendover, actually in Utah. It's time to call it a day. We're pretty tuckered out and ready to relax. Boy, yesterday was really fun for us. We got some backcountry riding in and on the gravel roads, which was a lot of fun. And then here we kind of toured around town here in Wendover and West Wendover, because on the Nevada side they have all the casinos, so that was kind of fun too. Well, that was it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good morning. We're just waking up here in Wendover. I didn't do an end of day video yesterday. Beautiful, beautiful area. I'll show you here. We did some back roads yesterday. And we're heading now for Tremonton, Utah. So it'll be a long day of riding, but hope to see some interesting places we haven't seen before.